Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. Without further ado, I'm super excited. Welcome to 2019. Let's get started with today's video. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, hopefully you guys can see me. So basically I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video, talking about my goals for 2019 and everything. Mama Fitbit, which she is definitely a supporter of mine on this channel. She always comments good things, reminded me to do that, and someone else did too. He said, hey, have you done what your goals are for 2019? So I knew I wanted to film more makeup videos for you guys, and I knew I wanted to share, well, I didn't think about it, but I feel like when you're open and you're transparent, it shows, and then it's good to share with your viewers so they can get a chance of knowing who you are. So you guys are like family. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys what's gonna be going on. So it's hot. I have this blanket on top of me and I don't know why. I'm gonna be using, I'm probably not gonna mention or link every single thing in the description box. I'll try to if I remember, but honestly, I use the same stuff all the time. But basically I'm gonna be using the two, well, I may not use, I feel like I always use Modern Renaissance. I really wanna try, I've had this palette for a long time, I just never used it. I used it to do swatches, but nothing creative. I'm going to go in the Norvina palette, just these really pretty colors. The top row is really what I'm going to use, and then this color right here. I'm not using all those colors. Whoa, you guys know I like more natural makeup looks, so if you don't like that, this may not be the right channel for you. Well, hopefully you guys are having a great 2019 already. We are a few days into the new year. As I'm filming this, and basically I kind of want to do a story time at the same time. I'm going to keep it short and lead you into kind of where I'm at with my goals. So you guys know 2018, let me zoom in a little bit closer. I'm not going to be super duper close because I'm not going to be super duper close because I'm better with story times when I just talk, and this is my first time doing a story time and also doing makeup. So if I skip things or if I don't say everything or if you guys see fast forward clips, it's because I don't want you to be here for 30 minutes and I'm still in my eyeshadow. What had happened was, you guys know I got married, which is the best thing about 2018. And I know it's all about moving forward, so I don't like to dwell on things, but I feel like if I get this out, I feel like when I express myself, especially through YouTube and on video, I don't know, it just feels like I talk about it to my friends and I'm getting it out. So like I was saying, 2018 was the best year of my life. I married my lover. I'll insert a picture. Make sure I insert clips and pictures. Not clips, pictures. We're still waiting on our wedding video, by the way, so I'm going to email the photographer because he asked me some questions about it, and hopefully we get it by the end of this month is what I'm thinking. But essentially, I married my best friend, and then, well, let me go in order. So 2018 started off great, you know, I'm newly engaged, yada, 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 stressing out at work, so that was a con. I was really stressed this year, extremely. And then as I start to plan my wedding, what I think would be the easiest thing to do is actually one of the hardest things to do. Lewis and I getting in stupid fights over it, and then also because it's just that stress, right? And then also losing friendships. So, and not to mention, I lost my grandfather. He died of cancer this past year, and then Lewis's, both of his parents, so basically his step parents, even though they don't believe in step, I'm just trying to tell you guys who they are to him. Both of them also died of cancer too, within a month of each other. So all three, my grandparent, his stepmom, and his stepdad all died of cancer within months of each other. So that hit us really hard. I feel like it hit Lewis even harder just because he's never really lost anyone that close to him, and I haven't either. And I'm not downplaying my grandfather at all, but I think for when you lose anyone, especially if they have a parent in their name, grandparent, step-parent, love parent, I don't know. It's just hard. So I think for me, I handled it pretty well. I think I was sad for only like a couple days, and then it comes in waves. Like, you know, I think about my grandmother because, you know, she lived with that man for so long and he was just so funny till the end. And then I also think about like Lewis's parents now have to live by themselves and share holidays. So it was a really rough year. And then also at the same time too, I was losing a lot of friendships. I mean, I felt like I was just like purging friendships, and I'll talk about this in a separate story time, so I don't want to get in too much of it. I'm not going to share all the juicy details just because there's some things that I do want to keep private, but there are also things that I want to be transparent about because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about them. But essentially, I lost one of my best friends, or at least who I thought was a best friend, for a long time. But you know what? There's a common theme with a lot of the people who fell out of my life this year. It was always like, I liked them and they were cool, but they also had, everyone has their flaws, but they were also very troubled. Like, I feel like there was a lot of drama surrounding them all the time. It was never just like something good. Ooh, this has a lot of kickback. This Norvina palette has a ton of kickback. I used to not care about kickback, but when it gets all over my clothes and my makeup desk, it kind of irritates me. So I'm just going in with the color Passion out of the Norvina palette. Pretty much the only color that I can use. Ooh, I should have used a transition color first. I'm going to go in with Railgar from the Modern Renaissance and use that as a transition shade on both, just to kind of make sure it looks good. Anyways, I lost a lot of friendships, and friends who I thought would be there for my big day were not. Friendships that I thought wouldn't end like that did, and it was just kind of dramatic for me. And I feel like I had a lot of mental health things going on because of like me losing and so much change. I don't do so well with like abrupt change that I don't see coming. So when I say mental health, I don't say like, I'm not saying that I have I'm not diagnosed with anything, and I don't claim it at all. But I'm just saying I felt really down about a lot of things that I feel like I should be happy about and I should be so excited. And the wedding, for me, there was moments that, I could even say ruined it, but I'm not going to give them that much power because there were some non-favorite moments of mine for sure. However, everything happens for a reason, and I know people hate that, but it's so true, like literally so true. Basically, I had a lot of drama surrounding my wedding, and I feel like that was the enemy just literally trying to get me not excited for a lot of things, and it worked until I started to realize, like, screw you guys. I'm gonna put myself first because I never put myself first in a lot of things. I'm usually like, it's a terrible trait to have, to be, in my opinion. I'm a people pleaser, and that's one of the best and worst traits to have. It's good when you are serving people or when you're in a position where you do a lot of things for people, but then it's also bad because you're just like, oh, I kind of like this color. It's also bad because I feel like you're not living for yourself, you're living for others, and you're never going to be satisfied because you think that making people happy will make you happy, and it doesn't. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So, long story short, or long story long, I basically had some self-discovery towards the end of the year because there was just so much stuff, and I almost let it affect my relationship with Lewis because I was just so unhappy with a lot of things. And I will do a dedicated storytime video for this because I feel like the things that I wish I'd known going into who I picked as my bridal party and who I involved in my life. And I even had someone hit me up recently, and they really, really, really wanted me to be like, oh, well, I sent you this and you never responded. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, for everyone, I had invited 160 guests, and I think we had 140 or 145, so about 20 people not show, which isn't too bad. But I will say this. For the people who didn't come on my side, who ended up not showing, it's the people I never expected not to show up, especially because they're texting me, sending me pictures of their dresses that they bought for my wedding, sending me all this stuff, and then they send me some lame excuses, and I was just like, what the heck? And it's weird because I feel like I'm always there for so many people, but the one time that I get to be selfish and I want people to be there for me, they're not. And for me, that was a huge wake-up call because I deserve a lot better. And the gist of it is, because I'm sure I'm going to reiterate this in my actual story time, the gist of it is I am not going to sit here and deal with people who are not supportive of me or I'm a convenience for them. To be a good friend, you have to show a good friend. And I know I'm a really good friend and I'm really loyal. You guys know that whole thing with the Janet story time. Like that, even though to you guys I was probably like being bratty, which I wasn't. I don't care what anyone says. But when you really are that friend for people, you expect a certain thing. And it's crazy how people treating you bad or people who are terrible and just not good friends get that praise, like, oh my gosh, they're so good, you're so mean, so glad she dropped out of your wedding. But that's what's wrong with the world, is we don't know how to love each other and we don't know how to be good friends to each other, and there's just so much wrong with people. And I was a part of that culture, but I'm not gonna be anymore. And the reason why I feel like I was a part of that culture is because I let it happen and I allowed myself to live for people who could care less about me when I shouldn't be living for them. I should only be living for God, period. So I will not, I don't really cut people off anymore because I feel like that's a phrase that is really insensitive, but I'm not friends with quite a bit of people, especially the ones who claim they were coming to my wedding and sent me texts and then sent me excuses on the day of the wedding. That there's only really 2 people who actually had an emergency, but other people who just never planned on coming but tried to play me. And I don't like that at all, because not only are you not there for me, but Lewis and I paid a lot of money for our wedding. We had a pretty extravagant wedding, and yeah, we didn't have to, but I'm not getting married again, you guys. For a long time, I had really, anytime I had any issues with people, I hate people being mad at me. Even to this day, I still hate it. I'm learning to accept it because I can't control everything, but I hate that feeling when you're fighting with people. But a lot of these people who I fell out with, they were, I would say a couple of them were good friends, but a lot of them were just kind of like, I feel like there was a lot of clues. And it really isn't even about them because they're still great people, but I think it's more about myself. I think God has been trying to isolate me from a lot of things, and not isolation in like a by yourself type of way, but he's trying to shift me into people where I have more meaningful relationships, and also more about myself where he needs to work on me. And I can't be around the same people that I used to be. And I try to hold on to them. I try to be like, oh no, we're gonna be best friends forever because I'm just so loyal and I just have to be your best friend and I just have to be with you. Like, it's really crazy, and it's sad that I feel like I'm more willing to deal with people who are not the best for me than I am willing to put myself first in situations. So for me, all of those friendships and the people who sent me lame excuses and stuff, I do forgive them. And I think, like I said again, they're great people. I just have nothing left for them from me. So, and that's fine to do that. I think a lot of people are scared to do that. Let's see. Ooh, it's pretty. It's rose gold. My memory's full. Hold on. So basically, I was dealing with people who I felt like couldn't be there for me, and it's a really sad thing that some people just can't be there for other people. Whether that's jealousy, whether they're just not mentally there. But even some people who I feel like I had to be around for the wedding, just, it's not really about them, it's more about me. I just can't be around that same stuff. Like, I want to grow, I don't want to be stagnant, and I feel like my life is just, it wasn't in a good place because I'm sitting there allowing the same energy. I'm doing the same things that I shouldn't be doing. I'm allowing people to put that toxic energy around me, and I just can't. I can't do that. You would think like when you get married, everything's perfect, and even if you have hiccups, it's like, yeah, I enjoyed it so much. I genuinely, there are things about my wedding, not the wedding day, but the process that I genuinely did not enjoy, to the point where I was like, I don't even know if all this is worth it. Like, maybe Lewis and I just elope and we get married and I don't have to deal with these people anymore. But I knew that's not what he wanted. I knew deep down that's not what I wanted, even though it works for a lot of people and I see why people do it. At the end of the day, I know our families would have been like a little sad. I think they would have understood, but I know they would have been sad not seeing, you know, us have that part. And I didn't want those people to affect me to the point where I was like that. So I think for me, what just really put the nail in the coffin was just the wedding day and not seeing people. And not only really the wedding day, but getting like all those text messages of just like the most lamest excuses you've ever heard, to me is just not enough. And that's when I was just like, okay. And I was like, you know what, I'm kind of mad, but I'll get over it. And then more stuff just started to happen with certain people and myself, and I was just like, you know what, this is not a coincidence. I literally am done. And I need to change my attitude about being a people pleaser, because it's not good. It's not good to want everyone to be happy except for me, because you're the loneliest person as a people pleaser. You really are. Because you're so busy trying to make no one mad at you, everyone happy, that you're just like the worst. It's literally the worst. So, long story long, I basically launched myself into different goals for this year. And number one, I forgave everything that happened in my previous years, not only with myself, but my relationship with Lewis, anything. I let go of all those wrongdoings, because you can't go into your marriage like that. And I realized I was letting other things affect us still that have been done a long time ago, because I let it go, but I would like be like, oh, is this like the same time when this happened? So I really was just always thinking about it. And the biggest thing for me was, do not worry. So I've been doing a daily devotional on worrying and anxiety. I'm not saying that I have anxiety, but the anxiety of worrying about every little thing I definitely have, because I go to bed at night and I think about things. Then when I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, gotta think about those things some more. And it's just stupid. God says, do not worry, be anxious for nothing, essentially. So I'm doing that. So that's kind of my first goal, is not worrying about stuff that's not gonna matter. I'm gonna put on my lashes and eyeliner and I'll be right back. So I'm wearing the So Extra Miami Lashes by Lily Lashes, which is pretty much the only lashes I wear besides the Cocoa lashes in the style Misha. Gosh, that is sad. I need to wear those again. I haven't worn those in a long time, last year. I'm gonna go ahead, I already primed my face. I don't know if you guys can tell because I feel like it already soaked into my skin, but I'm gonna prime my nose area and then my laugh lines. So to make sure this foundation kind of... So I'm gonna be using my favorite foundation. I've really been loving this foundation and literally this is all I use, even though I know it doesn't last as long as I want it to last. The NARS Radiant Longwear, I'm in the shade New Caledonia. This foundation does not last how I think it should last. It says long wear, but if you're oily, it's a hit or miss for this. For me, when I first had this, I was like, miss. But the more I wore it, the more I feel like my skin got used to it. And I've also been loving to do my foundation, concealer, and contour all with one brush. So I've been doing that method lately just because It's quicker. I don't take out a beauty blender, even though I have tons of beauty blenders. Sometimes I don't like the way they look on the results. So I've been doing this step and I've really been liking it. But back to what I was saying. Sorry, I got a dot all over or else my foundation doesn't look right. And then when you just rub it into your skin, it just looks so good with a brush. Like I forgot how good a brush does instead of a beauty sponge. Sometimes it looks a lot better because it's really getting in there. So like I was saying, you guys, it's just been a crazy year. So my second goal for 2019, to go kind of along with my theme of like not worrying, moving on, not holding grudges, is forgiveness. Because even though I honestly really get over things really quickly, I feel like I would not trust people. And sometimes that's, a lot of times, including myself, we make mistakes, and there's a lot of people who could maybe not trust me after I made a mistake, but why do I have so many trust issues with people after they do certain things? And I put my guard up and I shouldn't. So I've been learning to, when I forgive, like, you let it go, otherwise you're not forgiving yourself. Wow, this foundation goes on kind of orange. Don't worry, it'll get fixed. So my second goal is just to forgive and let go. Like, truly forgive, which I usually do. And let go. Like, if you say you forgive someone, don't bring it up in a fight, don't mention it, don't have those trust issues, because then you really have to be honest with them and be like, hey, I understand you're sorry, but this is where I'm at right now. It's going to take me some time, which is fine to say as well. And I've had to say that to people, believe it or not. Pretty much, I'm just focused on my faith, so same goals usually, but I know I said at the beginning of 2018 I would focus more on faith and praying and doing all that. It didn't happen towards the end of the year with the planning of the wedding. I put God kind of on the back burner. I didn't give him his time that he deserves, so that's something now I've been doing every morning. Reading my devotional, prayer time. We have prayer every evening. Like, Luce and I have intercessory prayer. Like, we are so determined right now. And then, of course, financial freedom. I'm big into financial freedom, even though you guys are probably like, you're bougie. I am bougie, and I do like finer things, and sometimes I spend money on things that probably can wait, but I just have to have it. So getting rid of that instant gratification too is why I'm taking a break from Instagram. So I'm on Instagram more than I thought. I thought I wouldn't care about Instagram. Obviously I'm still uploading on YouTube, so I'm on YouTube, but Instagram right now and Facebook, I check those like 100 times a day, and I never realized it until I was like, okay, I'm gonna fast. So we're fasting from this, this, and this, and Luce and I are both doing social media fast. So we're fasting from Facebook and Instagram, and I'm like, when I want to go look up something from a movie and look up movie characters on Instagram, I do that a lot. I don't know if you guys do that. I can't do that right now because I'm fasting. So it really puts into perspective like how much we take for granted and how much we actually pollute our lives with a lot of social media. So hopefully this video is making sense, you guys. Sorry if it's not. You guys, I forgot that I had this Stila Rose Gold Retro. What if I put this on my eyeball? Let's see. Okay, eyes are officially done. Well, okay, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Hazelnut. This is a good concealer for dark circles. And I feel like it just looks so good. Like I said, I like to use one brush for everything now because it just, I don't know, just blends. I think my foundation mixing with everything, it makes my skin look so good. And I've been getting a lot of compliments on my makeup lately. Instead of using the beauty blender. Sometimes the beauty blender shears out the product so much that it just makes it look, it just depends on the look you're going for. But sometimes it's just a lot easier to use a brush. Anyways, hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can hear noises, that's Lewis in the kitchen. Sorry, he's making spaghetti for me because I really love his spaghetti. So good. Instant Age Rewind, I'm telling you guys, look at that. Look at that difference. Like, dark circles, bags, gone. Nowhere to be found. So basically, to wrap up my goals, I'm still going to talk a little bit more, but to wrap up my goals, because in case I jumped all over the place and when I go back to edit, I'm like, girl, what were you talking about? I just want to be a better version of myself, and I can't have toxic things in my life, and that includes myself, because sometimes I'm toxic to myself. Like, I'm down on myself. I'm so hard on myself. I put pressures on myself that are only existent to me and no one else, and I just can't do that anymore. So I'm just trying to work on a better version. But I think when I was trying to hold on to things, and Lewis preached about this a long time ago, and I was at one of his sermons in Kansas, and he said sometimes when you're stubborn and you hold on to things, when God comes back, he lets you endure that suffering. So for example, for instance, a boy that God is like telling you, leave alone, leave him alone. Like, he's given so many instances in your life where the guy is no longer in your life, but you're like, no, I want him, I love him so much. And then he's like, and then God is basically like, okay, you don't want to listen, now you're gonna learn the hard way. And then there's heartbreak, there's things that happen to you. So if we're so stubborn sometimes, God allows certain things to happen to teach us to come back to him, and you need to listen to me in the first place. We do have free will, which is amazing, because, you know, we're not some drones who are like, we do whatever he says without thinking. He wants us to choose him. And I feel like when it comes to friendships that I had, I don't have as many good friends as I thought I did. Now what I'm telling myself is I do have a lot of acquaintances, but not a lot of friendships. I can count on one hand of people who I'd actually call friends, like genuine friends. The rest is kind of like, you're all right. And that's because I want to make sure I'm balanced in that way. And I think for women especially, and guys too, but for women, you really need good girlfriends. And I need to find good married friends. My maid of honor, Ashley, Angel, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to my I think I made an Instagram post of her. I know I put it on my Facebook, which you guys are not going to have access to, but anyway, she did an incredible thing, and I'll share that in my story time, because it's going to be one story time about the wedding drama. So stay tuned for that. And that's not to hype myself up to get views, to get subscribers. Like, I don't do that stuff. It's to share what I learned and hopefully help some other people who are either going through it or people who are about to get married and I don't want them to go through that. Learn from me. I think I was holding on to friendships, and God was like, okay, you're not gonna listen. I'm trying to get you good people in your life, and you're still not listening, Veronica, because you think you have to be loyal and say yes to everyone and everything. So I'm gonna allow, bam, this to happen. Then this happened, then this happened. And it all happened this year. And I was like, all right, I can't go into 2019 like that at all. And I can't deal with that ever again. I don't want to. And I'm really determined. I don't have distractions. I'm reducing those distractions. I'm coming back on YouTube with a vengeance. I'm going to be consistent this year. My energy has been really low lately. I don't know. I think it's my hormone. I don't know. Something's wrong with that, but I'm going to get that under control here soon. So I'm on fire. I want to get back into working out more like how I used to. I'm being like really, really fit. Oh my gosh, I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that. And instead of just being like, okay, I already have that in my schedule. Okay, that happened. Cool. I got time for that because I got that done. Like, I just want to be more organized internally, like spiritually, and then that way on the outside you guys will be like, wow, we really notice a difference in you. I'll be like, thank you so much, it's so kind. I'm just excited for this new year and what it's gonna bring. I think, you know, kids are still not on the table for this year, which is fine. I'm happy where Lewis and I are at, and I think I want to get more financially prepared too for kids. Kids are really expensive. I didn't know how expensive they were until I'm watching some people's stuff and I'm like, I'm not paying for that, but I'm gonna have to. So we want to get financially, like I said, we're reducing our debts anyways, but we want to get more financially free. So, and then also too, I want just time with Lewis and I. and I think that's really important in the first year of marriage. So just getting to know each other without the drama of a kid. And not that kids are all dramatic, but it's not about you. And like I was just saying, I feel like this is a year for me to really be selfish, and the fact that I just need more time by myself, with my husband, with God, focusing on good friendships, not bad friendships, and just really growing myself. Yeah, so that's kind of my 2019 goals. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Ooh, I did a good job. I didn't put too much. Sometimes I put too much and it does not look good. I feel like I need to put a little bit more on this side. And for the people who are watching this, because I know sometimes people watch my videos and they think I'm talking about them. If you are one of the friends that I kind of we're just not friends anymore, you know, there's no hate or no ill will ever with me, ever. Like, I hate if people think I'm mad at them. I'm just not. I'm just a different person, and we all grow, and I'm not afraid to separate myself. For a long time I was, but I can't be like that anymore, just because I value myself, who I'm trying to be. I really want to be a really good wife, and in order to do that, I have to be a better version of myself. Sometimes we get the luxury of having these epiphanies and all this time while we're still single. I think for me, I was just a hot mess last year, and unfortunately my last single years I didn't get to focus on me because I allowed certain things to happen. So I feel like this year God is really saying to me, focus on what I tell you to focus on, and that's it. So I have to get rid of all the extra noise, all the extra things that I think I'm responsible for, or that I need to see and be all up in the Kool-Aid of what's going on. He's telling me nope. And for also my viewers, I'm not a mean person. I mean the best for everyone, but I'm a real person, and I'm really transparent. And I think a lot of people, from the comments off the Janet video, and people are free to have their own opinion. A lot of people on there agreed with me, and also a lot disagreed with me on that whole situation. And I'm not looking for people to really agree with me. I'm sharing my story. So if you don't like it, that's your opinion, and I respect your opinion. If you don't like me, that's sad, but that's okay. See, I'm already doing better. Okay, you guys, so of course I'm thinking like, oh, I'm all finished, and then I'm like, something looks different, and I'm like, duh. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on some lips. I think I want to do a glossy lip. Just gonna have a nice brown outline. Then I'm gonna take, this is in the shade Perla. This is from Stila Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna blend that in together. There we go. And then I'm gonna take, keeps getting on my teeth. Then I'm gonna take this Marc Jacobs High Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Work It. I'm obsessed with Marc Jacobs lip glosses. They're just so pretty. And I'm gonna kind of put this over the top of it to kind of tone it down. It is kind of dark, but when you mix it with this super light color, it's really pretty. This, you guys, is my final look. I love this lip combo. This, you guys, is my 2019 final makeup look. Loosen up these curls a little bit. I really am excited for this year. Out with the old and with the new. Like I said, it's not really about anyone else. It's about myself. And I'm really excited because God's already showing me to just trust Him, and so I'm so excited for that. What you guys have to look forward to on this channel, because I never really talk about it, is more consistent uploading. So my goal is to do twice a week, but sometimes I can't do twice a week, although I film a lot on the weekends. Sometimes I know if I have something coming up, like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna have time to film this weekend, so I'm gonna have to space it out. That's why I do that. And then of course professionally, still taking names as the only female officer here on YouTube for military. So I'm gonna continue to film military videos for you guys. So don't forget to make your request to me, either comment, DM me, email me. I always have my email linked to my YouTube. So those videos, like, I'm trying to get a lot of those out, because some stuff I realized, I scrubbed my channel, I realized I don't have that many military videos, and I would love to film more. Again, this is just a one-stop shop. I know someone asked me if Lewis and I are going to do a couples channel. I'm thinking about it, but for right now, I do like having one channel. I do not like the idea of having to work hard for 2 channels, just because I work so hard for this one and it's monetized, and although, you know, I don't get paid like that from YouTube, my views and everything is, my hard work is on this channel. So it's like, I feel like I have to build up this baby, but I can also build up another baby, especially when we start to have babies. I'm not going to put all that on this channel. So I think in the future, yes. But for right now, no, we're gonna stick with the one channel. So hopefully you guys like that. If you don't, a new channel will be coming, and then you guys can subscribe to whichever. But overall, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy 2018. Thank you guys for your love and your support. Remember to take care of you this year, and listen to what God has to say for you. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.